We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out. Yeah.
All right, locker room. I think it's fair we have this conversation. It's a two-part question, but you guys let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment. You know how this goes. We debate it out. How good is the ACC? All right. How good is the ACC? We got two former Pac-12 teams in there that are doing fairly well. Obviously, Cal lost to Florida State this past weekend, but Stanford got a good win versus Syracuse. You know, does the ACC have the depth? I think that's clear to say not really, especially when you see what Florida State is. Georgia Tech beat Florida State, what they've become. Virginia Tech's not as good as they used to be. Clemson, we don't really know what Clemson is. Are they fool's gold? Or are they the real deal after that blowout loss versus Georgia and what they've been doing over the past couple of weeks? Miami, is the U back? We'll dive into that in a little bit. But you guys let me know what you guys think, because obviously you could point to this win Clemson had this past weekend over North Carolina State, 59-35, but that game was not as close as that score seems to be. And that score is obviously not that close. But you get what I'm saying here. Like, Clemson, they were dominating North Carolina State at one point in that game, right? So how good is the ACC, and do they have the depth? When you look at the rest of Clemson's schedule, let's go through it, right? We got, after North Carolina, their big game was probably going to be – it was probably going to be Florida State as we thought, but doesn't look like it's going to be like that going forward. But the rest of the way, Stanford. They got Stanford at home. Stanford has to make another West Coast trip. Florida State, not the game we thought it was going to be. Wake Forest, Virginia, Louisville's good. I'll give Louisville. That'll be a good game. Virginia Tech, depends what type of Virginia Tech team you get. And then you got Pitt, the Citadel, and then you finish it up versus your rivals versus South Carolina. So you guys tell me, how good is the ACC? Are they going to get one team, two teams in the playoffs? I think they dodge a bullet by not playing Miami. So could Clemson run the table, Miami run the table, me in the ACC championship? Let's say Clemson wins. They still have one loss. Miami, let's say they run the table but lose to Clemson. They got one loss. Do both those teams get into the dance at the end? We'll see. But I think it's fair to ask the question, how good is the ACC? Another question as it relates to the ACC, is the U back? Right? Are the Miami Hurricanes back? I feel like we ask this question probably like every 3 to 5 years. Is the U really back? Obviously, this is a big year for head coach Mario Cristobal. They got a big win versus Florida. Let's not talk about it. They've been playing well this past week versus who they play this past week versus UCF, who gave Alabama a game-ish. It was closest first half before Miami blew it wide open. But yeah, is the U actually are they back? Are we ready to crown them back? Right? We're not going to see in terms of true potential. Let's look at their schedule, because they got Virginia Tech this weekend on Friday. That's going to be a good game. Cal, Louisville, possibly. Florida State rivalry game. I don't see them losing that. And then Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Syracuse. So they might be battle tested over these next 2 to 3 weeks, and they might not get battle tested anymore until you get to the ACC championship and possibly play Clemson. So we'll see, but I think the U is the real deal. Hey, I think the U is the real deal in the locker room. You let me know. Am I just saying that? Let me know what you guys think. Is the U finally back? Right? They're led by a bad man at quarterback, Washington State transfer, Cam Ward, who had a day. 71 completion percentage, 404 yards, and 3 tuds. Again, against South Florida, but let's not talk about the Florida game, but he balled in that game too. So he's doing up against good quality competition. It's Cam Ward, a dark horse to win the Heisman. If you're a betting man or woman, I would suggest you put that bet in right now, because if they win their next 2 or 3 weeks, which is like the hardest part of the schedule, you ain't gonna get better odds than what you gotta get right now. So if you think Cam Ward's gonna win the Heisman, place your bet right now as you watch this video. All right. So is the ACC the real deal? Is the U back? It's a lot of questions to find out, but we'll see. Again, you guys let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Let's talk it out. All right, let's talk it out, locker room.